For this video, we're going to be discussing multiplying and dividing rational expressions. So first off, we're going to talk about multiplying. So our steps to multiply. First step is to just factor everything. All right, so anything that we can factor in each one of our expressions, we want to factor. Then we want to multiply, and you just multiply the top times the top, the bottom times the bottom. And then simplify by canceling things out. So let's take a look at an example. So example 1 says to simplify x squared plus x minus 12 divided by x squared minus 8x plus 15 times x squared minus 5x times x squared minus 16. So lots of stuff going on here. These are both trinomials, and if I factor them, x squared plus x minus 12 works out to be x minus 3 times x minus x plus 4. X squared minus 8x plus 15 works out to be x minus 5 times x minus 3. Over here, x squared minus 5x, I can just factor out a greatest common factor, and I'm left with x times x minus 5. And then down here, x squared minus 16 is a difference of squares, and that's x minus 4 times x plus 4. So now I'm going to multiply these together. Because they're being multiplied together, I can do some canceling. X minus 3 and x minus 3 cancel each other out. And I can also do this. Anything that's on both the top and the bottom, and it doesn't matter which fraction it's in because I'm multiplying, anything that's on the top and the bottom can cancel out. So because I have x plus 4 here and x plus 4 here, those cancel. Because I have x minus 5 here and x minus 5 here, those two cancel. And so now I just want to rearrange with everything that I've got left, and I've got x over x minus 4. Now to divide. Dividing is very similar to multiplying. Once again, you start by factoring everything. Then you need to multiply by the reciprocal of one fraction. And all that means is you flip that fraction. And then you simplify again. So it's very similar to multiplying, you just have to flip one of your fractions. So looking at example, I've got x squared minus 5x minus 14 divided by x cubed minus 6x squared divided by x plus 2 times x squared minus 6x. So first off, I want to factor everything. X squared minus 5x minus 14 is x minus 7 times x plus 2. X cubed minus 6x squared, I can factor out an x squared, and I'm left with x minus 6. X plus 2 is just a binomial, it can't be factored. X squared minus 6x, I can factor out an x, and then I'm left with x minus 6. Now, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal of my second fraction here, so all I'm doing is flipping it. So x times x minus 6 goes on the top, and x plus 2 goes on the bottom. And now I'm going to do some simplifying. All right, so x minus 7 doesn't have anything that it can cancel with. X plus 2 cancels out with x plus 2. X minus 6 cancels out with x minus 6. And then I also have x and x squared. And if we go a little bit deeper into that one, okay, if I'm doing x divided by x squared, what I'm doing is that's x to the 1 minus 2, which is equal to x to the negative 1 power. And if you remember from Algebra 1, x to the negative 1 power is simply 1 over x. So what ends up happening is this x gets canceled, and this x just loses its 2 and it stays x. So we just figure out what are we left with. We're left with x minus 7 and x, so that is our answer. So that is how we multiply and divide rational expressions.